Hey, mic check, mic check.
Mike.
We just switched computers, so that's why there's a delay. So we're doing tests right now.
From the lens to the cut, yeah, we callin' the play. Direct in the flow like we moving ballet. Calvo bring the story, every scene got soul. Yabu E painting light, every shot got gold. Behind the glass or behind the mic, we break it all down, every wrong, every right. This the spot where the real ones speak, where film meets truth every day of the week. We the shot, call us no cap, just facts. From the first frame roll to the final act. If you living for the art, then you already know. Tune in with the squad, let the creativity flow. From the lens to the cut, yeah, we callin' the play. Direct in the flow like we moving ballet. Calvo bring the story, every scene got soul. Yabu E painting light, every shot got gold. Behind the glass or behind the mic, we break it all down, every wrong, every right. This the spot where the real ones speak, where film meets truth every day of the week. We the shot, call us no cap, just facts. From the first frame roll to the final act. If you living for the art, then you already know. Tune in with the squad, let the creativity flow. Yeah, but we eat on the frame. Two minds, one mission, elevating the game. From the lens to the cut, yeah, we callin' the play. Direct in the flow like we moving ballet. Calvo bring the story, every scene got soul. Yabu E painting light, every shot got gold. Behind the glass or behind the mic, we break it all down, every wrong, every right. This the spot where the real ones speak, where film meets truth every day of the week. We the shot, call us no cap, just facts. From the first frame roll to the final act. If you living for the art, then you already know. Tune in with the squad, let the creativity flow. From the lens to the cut, yeah, we callin' the play. Direct in the flow like we moving ballet. Calvo bring the story, every scene got soul. Yabu E painting light, every shot got gold. Behind the glass or behind the mic, we break it it all down, every wrong, every right. This the spot where the real ones speak, where film meets truth every day of the week. We the shot, callers no cap, just facts. From the first frame roll to the final act. If you living for the art, then you already know. Tune in with the squad, let the creativity flow.
How I look at the comments. Yo, thanks for tuning in. We are back again. Well, I'm here in the studio a little solo at the moment, so I had to work through some technical difficulties. But we are back again collectively for the Shot Callers podcast. I am holding down the fort for the time being. Your boy Calvo. Your buoy had something to pop up at the last minute, so he may be tuning in with us a little later on. He may not. But we still here. We are back holding down the fort. It is a great time. If you are tuning in with us live, we apologize again for going on live. You know, we had to work through some technical difficulties to work through some things, but it has been a good time. First time doing the show solo, so I'm kind of excited to be here. If you are in the comments with us or tuning in, y'all be sure to get... be sure to give a like and a comment because y'all are joining the conversation with me. Y'all are the co-hosts with me right now. Hold on, we we got some technical difficulties going on, but it is a good time. Hold on one moment for us. All right, so I'm back. Pan me over a little bit. Yeah, all right, we good. So again, we are back again tonight. I say we, but it's more so me in the studio. Back again tonight, holding down the fort for the Shot Callers podcast. Officially without any technical difficulties. I am Calvo. I'm excited to be here. Your buoy, like I said, will be back in a minute. Yeah, and so... hope everyone has been having a good time, y'all. A good week. We have made it to Thursday. It is almost the end of the week. I'm excited for the weekend. Last weekend, I will say I had an opportunity to work on the short film down here in Pensacola in the Gulf Coast. An amazing shoot. We did some filming out in the woods, and that was my first time ever doing, like, I've done outdoor shoots, but this is my first time shooting outside. Amazing crew. Shout out to the director of that film, Chad Sanders. The film is called Wired for Sound. Y'all be on the lookout for that one. Outside of that, I know there are several other projects coming out here. I want to give a shout out to everyone just creating stuff. I've been seeing some amazing stuff online. With myself, I have been working on my upcoming feature length film, Sweet Dreams. We are still in the callback sections for that. And man, I say it all the time on the podcast, but I really just want to reiterate that it is so much and so much talent along the Gulf Coast. If you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, our podcast kind of takes place within the Gulf Coast. And I just want to say that, like, it's so much talent located here along the Gulf Coast. And so I can't wait for you all to finally get a chance to see what we've been working on. Man, it is some exciting stuff going on. And so I'm not going to carry too long. Tonight we had a topic that we want to dive into. So since I'm holding it down the fort, it's kind of weird talking to myself. But again, I'm talking to y'all. So if you are with me, be sure to tune in live and join the conversation live. Join in the comments. And let me know that y'all here. But outside of that, our topic for the night, right? So last week, if you've been tuning in with us for the last couple of weeks here on the Shot Callers podcast, we have been talking about really just like from an acting standpoint and really just trying to set the scene, right? So we talked about the gaze, which is when you just gaze into the camera and you just hold it, and it builds so much emotional tension. And from there, we move from the gaze to really just sitting in the scene and letting it breathe. A lot of times as actors and as filmmakers, we feel like you have to be over dramatic, or not. I don't say you have to feel that way, but sometimes you see that where like people feel they have to be over dramatized or like over just extra, really, to make a scene stand out. And we learned that it's so much in just being quiet and letting a scene breathe and just being still in the moment, right? And that's cool. And I think, like, for me, when we talked about it before, those are some of my favorite moments in scenes where I'm just really just kind of captivated because it really builds like the tension in the scene. And so practice that more. We talked about that last week, but I really want to see more of that. So it's something that I plan on working on, and I just look forward to seeing. But moving into tonight's topic, right? Let's talk about the importance of the opening scene. So unfortunately, I don't have too much of the power where we could like showcase stuff. But we really want to dive in what makes the opening scene so powerful, right? So if you're like me, right, I think it might be like a short attention span to just like, I blame it on TikToks and Instagram Reels. You know, like they say now, according to data, that like if you don't hook your viewer in the first 5 seconds, you've lost them. And that's really comes down to because like short form content has like, I'm gonna say poison our mind. Like we thought we had a short attention span, but literally, like, you know, we're so used to just taking our phones out, right, and just flipping, just up and down, just like, you know, all right, nope, 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 to the fact that that habit has kind of transcended into and bled into like cinema, which I'm sure a lot of you all are people who like watch streaming, right? We all stream. We watch stuff on all types of platforms, right? But how many people have turned on the movie and like if the first 5 minutes of it doesn't captivate you, you change? I do it sometimes, and I know people who I'm with, like I might go into a movie like excited to see it, right? But if the first 5 minutes or the first couple of minutes does not like captivate my attention, I'm not in it, or I just don't give it a chance. And I'm like, all right, you know, it started out kind of weak. I'm just not gonna give it to it, not knowing that beyond that weak opening, it probably is a really good movie. But I just couldn't get past the opening, right? So I mean, I know I'm not the only person who feels that way. But this brings us to our topic for tonight: the opening minutes. I say the opening 5 minutes are so important. And also, monumental, like not monumental, but rememberable, uh, to the fact that like we all can think of a movie that has an opening sequence that just sticks with us, from live action to animation, right? Off the top of my head, live action opening sequences that stand to me, The Dark Knight. Everyone, if you've seen The Dark Knight, right, with Heath Ledger. Also, to be honest, The Dark Knight Rises too is a good opening. So Christopher Nolan is really good. The director behind that is really good at setting opening sequences, right? Where they incite some type of action that kind of like is it sets the presence for what's to come and sets the tone of the movie, right? Uh, and it's memorable. So like The Dark Knight, we had Heath Ledger. You know the whole it ain't no spoiler alert, but you have the whole like bank robber scene where uh they go into the bank and it's the whole robbery, but that sets the tone and the scene for what's to come with the Joker and how that kind of like foreshadows stuff to come with him, right? Also, uh, the Dark Knight Rises, the same thing with the character Bane, right? That happens as well. Some other good movies that I could think of that have really good opening sequences are also Get Out. I reference Jordan Peele a lot, so like Get Out has a really good opening scene where Lakeith Stanfield is walking through the neighborhood and he gets snatched up. So like the thing to also remember with like setting a good opening sequence, like you want it to be like visually engaging, so where the what we see as an audience kind of like automatically captivates our attention, right? A lot of times you just want to leave it kind of ambiguous, but use it intentionally to set the tone for what you're trying to do, right? Um, because the opening scene is what catches us. It's the hook. It is what reels us in as a viewer to really make us want to stay and also, participate and be like not participate, but stay and like be engulfed in your film, right? So some talking points. I took some notes, y'all, because I'm by myself, which is cool. Thank y'all for tuning in. We are diving into what makes the first 5 minutes. So if y'all are in the comment section, y'all be sure to put a comment in. If y'all could think of a movie that y'all like where the first opening scene was really good. Oh, I talked about live action, right? But a good opening scene for animation all time. I referenced Disney, The Lion King. That's such an iconic opening scene, and it's a song. That opening scene really set the tone for the movie, and so with that, that is what we want to talk about. Hold on one moment for me. All right, so some things I want to share is like a strong opening doesn't always require explosions or movement, right? So like a lot of times action movies will start off with something big or something explosive, and that's like literally or metaphorically, but it can sometimes be clarity, like it could be subtle. It needs more than anything to set the clarity and the tone for what's going on, right? Um, like I said, viewers decide in the first couple minutes whether to keep watching, especially on the mobile device, right? Like I said, TikToks, Instagram Reels, uh, Facebook videos, all of it is different types of content to where like if we are not hooked from the beginning, we're just not in it, right? Um, but also more than just like what we see visually and what we hear, we really want to dive in the hook as to like how it makes us feel, right? And I take this and apply it to horror. So y'all know, if you know me, and follow my work, shameless plug, follow me on Force Studios for my short films and more content to follow. But horror films, right, is really the opening scenes in horror films are very important because they also not only give you like a ambiguous hook to like bring you in. But if not done correctly, you can lose all your attention. And what makes that more importantly is like how the scene makes you feel, right? So a horror film, usually the opening scene starts off kind of subtle and there's some kind of scare that like reels us in, right? So when just scoping out and making the opening scene of a movie, you really want to focus also into like not only, like I said, what it looks like visually or what we hear, but also how it makes you feel, right? If it's a horror movie, does it scare you? If it's a comedy, does it make you laugh? If it's a romance, does the mood captivate you in some type of way? These are all things to think about when trying to actually build your opening scene. Because the opening scene, I always say, to myself, like the opening scene and the ending is important, right? More so than the actual movie itself. Because if the opening scene is good, it's going to keep the viewer, right? So the viewer's like, all right, this came on good. I'm going to kind of stay and ride it out. And if you make it to the ending, which we're not talking about endings, we'll talk about that more so in another episode. But I'm just using that as an example here. As far as the ending, you can have a really good movie. It started off great. The movie was good, or it could have been like a little meh. But if it ends terribly, the movie is just bad. I feel that way I don't want to say a lot of times, but I'm sure I'm not the only one who feels that way. That like you can watch a good movie, but if the ending is bad, the movie is bad, right? And so we'll talk more into what makes a good ending, but for the time being right now, we're focusing in on what makes a good first 5 minutes of a film. So some things to talk about and think about is, you know, you want to apply the idea of strong intros across multiple formats. You really want to use the intro to sometimes introduce the idea of what the movie is about, set the tone. You can use it to introduce how the score will start to play out throughout the film, as well as what the film is also about. But you don't want to put too much into the opening. You really want to, like I said, leave it, give it, it's more so like a tease. You want to put it out there, give it enough to catch the viewer, and then go from there. And so, with that being said, I have enjoyed being here tonight. I'm going to just kind of close it out. I want to come on real fast and just give you all, you know, we couldn't miss no episode. So I do thank y'all for tuning in with me tonight. And I'm going to close with our inspirational thought, which is the first 5 seconds or minutes of your film are a contract. You're telling the audience, this is the world you're stepping into. Don't waste that opportunity. Make it intentional, make it honest, and make it unforgettable. And that is the final thought for tonight. So again, I know we came on late. We had a couple technical difficulties we worked through. So I, again, thank you all for tuning in with me tonight. This podcast was brought to you by... No, I just wanted to say that. But this is the Shot Callers Podcast. If you want to go back and listen to tonight's episode or any episode from the past, you can go back and listen to us and take us on the go with you through Spotify and Apple Podcasts, where you can go back and also replay the live action versions of our podcast on your Bowie Media on YouTube.com under the playlist, the Shot Callers Podcast. In your spare time until we meet again next week, y'all be sure to follow myself, Calvo, on social media. Also, go to YouTube and check out some of our latest films on the Force Studios, and that is FORC3 Studios, where you can find some of our latest short films, as well as our latest project, The Peppermint Lady, which is a 7-part series, which will take you on a thrilling ride about the neighborhood candy lady who comes back to hunt people. And again, so with that being said, I'm going to close out tonight's episode of the Shot Callers Podcast. And I thank y'all for tuning in with us. Until next time, peeps. Once I figure out what I'm doing. That's it.